never seeing the original owner ever again. But some do manage to find their way back. Myself, back in 2009, I had put away 3 guns into my storage locker, which was a mistake. In fact, storage companies tell you not to store guns in the storage units there. I did. Unfortunately, my unit got broke into, and quite a few of my weapons were stolen. What was stolen out of that storage locker was a Beretta 92 FS, originally made in Italy. So a very rare and desirable gun. A Glock 17, which was my normal everyday carry for my federal firearms license. Also my backup gun, which was a 32 ACP. I had an AR-15, which was a special weapon. That one was a pre-ban in 1992. That was stolen, and I had just purchased a brand new gun, which was a HK USP 45 cal. And sad thing about the 45 cal, I didn't even get a chance to take it out to the range to shoot it before it was stolen. So anyway, it was stolen. Police report was made to the Hayward Police Department back in 2009. And so all the serial numbers went on to the National Registry of Stolen Firearms, so that law enforcement all over the country could be aware of those should they recover a weapon. Well, I never expected to see those weapons ever again. In 2013, I was contacted by Mendocino County Sheriff's Department. Right here. Mendocino County Sheriff's Department. They had recovered 2 of my guns. They recovered my Glock, and they recovered my C-Camp, my 32 ACP. But in order for me to get those weapons, to claim them, I had to go through a procedure which California has in place so that you can recover your weapons. So here was the procedure. When the Mendocino County Sheriff's Department recovered my weapons, they contacted me through a phone call. They found me, however way they found me, because my telephone number definitely had changed by that time. From when it was stolen to the time when they contacted me. They told me what had happened, how they recovered everything, and that they asked me if I wanted the weapons, and I obviously said yes. And so they sent me the paperwork to fill out. And what that does, it's essentially just doing another background check on you to make sure that you're clean and that you're legal to have those weapons again. So did all of that, turned it in. Typically, well, once you get the paperwork, you fill it all out, you send it in to Sacramento. There's an address that you're going to send it to, which is the ATF, and they're going to do a quick background check on you, make sure you're clear. Once it's cleared, then they're going to send the paperwork back, or the final paperwork saying that you're cleared, so that you can take to that sheriff's department to claim those weapons. Also, that department in Sacramento notifies that sheriff's department, police department, that it is now cleared for you to pick up. So they actually send paperwork to that office to let them know that the weapons can be picked up. And the sheriff's department, they notify you of receipt of the confirmation from ATF, and then after that is just making setting a time and appointment to go pick up your weapons. And that's what I did. And just so that you can see some of the paperwork, there was actually a form that came here that I handed over to the Sheriff's Department. So I don't have that, but I'm going to show you everything else that you're going to be sent, so that they can release the guns. But anyway, here's your notice from the department that gets you going. So that's everything there. It notifies you of the procedure, the paperwork, everything. So that's the first step. Once you get everything filled out, you send it into Sacramento along with the fee. I don't remember what the fee was. I think it was something like $25, $35. It wasn't very much. Then once everything is done, the actual paper that you're going to hand to that department to claim your weapons, it lists the weapons that are authorized for you to claim, along with the serial numbers. So all of that's going to be verified at the Sheriff's Department, Police Department, or wherever you claim your weapon. Along with that paperwork comes this paperwork from ATF. And so it just explains everything. It's just basic paperwork, and it's two sides. So you're going to have all that. The Sheriff's Department is going to hand you back all of this. And once you get that, usually, depending on the area, they may walk you out to your vehicle with the weapon, and they'll actually physically put it in your trunk and then allow you to leave. But one of the things that none of the law enforcement agencies do, just to let you know, so that you're aware of it. When you do pick up the weapon, they won't allow you to have the bullets. Well, kind of. They're not going to let you take the bullets with the weapon that day. They're going to take all the bullets, and they're going to ask you, do you want to come back in a week to claim these bullets? And so you can't get it when you get the weapon. And if you do want those bullets for some reason, you have to wait 7 days to get those. So that's the procedure for you to know, and that is how you go about reclaiming a gun in the state of California. So hopefully that makes things real simple for you. I did, like I said, get back 2 of my guns. The story behind both of the weapons from the Sheriff's Department is that they found these in a lunchbox out in the forest in Mendocino County, somewhere up in Humboldt. So if you notice, I'm going to drop everything here. So no magazine, no bullet. Everything's open. I want you to look at the damage to this gun. I mean, it's pretty significant, the damage from being left out in the weather. If you look at this, look at the rust. In fact, when it was recovered, the sheriff who found the gun said it was actually rusted shut. It was in such poor shape. I mean, look at that poor thing. This is a Generation 2 Glock 17. Generation 2. And a lot of these parts are no longer available. So I can't make it really pretty again. I can replace the slide. The barrel is okay. Internally, there's just some ugliness on the outside, as you see. And you see that rust, and they took a hammer to my poor gun to break it open. It was so heavily rusted. So anyway, the good news is, for those of you that are Glock owners, this gun is still just as reliable. I've been taking it out to the range, and it's fired just fine. It's been very reliable. Haven't had any stovepipe. Haven't had any feed issues. So all I did after I recovered it, even with all the rust on it, was a really good cleanup and a good oiling, and took it out to the range, and it's been operating just fine. So while it looks really bad, the gun is still very reliable and fires just fine and feeds just fine. So says a lot for the Glock quality. While they're not perfect guns, they are very reliable, and that's why I got a Glock 17. It was a lot lighter to carry than the Beretta 92 FS that I was carrying at the time. And then the other gun that was recovered was my Seacamp 32 ACP, this little gun. And if you notice, this was my backup. This is the smallest automatic pistol that you can buy on the market. The smallest. Give you an idea how tiny it is. Look at that. If I laid that gun on the table and put my hand over it, that gun would literally disappear. I'm holding it right now, and you don't see much of the gun, really. And it's a 32 ACP. Granted, it's not a good personal defense weapon, but as a last resort weapon, which is what this is, it's not too bad. It gives you mouse gun power, but proper placement of the bullets of your shots can make all the world of difference. But this gun, typically, you're not going to be engaged in a battle much farther than 20 feet with something like this, because as you notice, there's no sights on this gun. There's six rounds plus one in the pipe, so opening I have 7 shots. It's also one of the most concealable guns in the world because it's so small. Look at how thin that is. It's not even 3/4 of an inch thick. It's very thin. It's all stainless steel and holds 6 rounds of 32 ACP. I'm going to show you how this thing really disappears. I'm going to step back and I'm going to put this in my holster right here on my hip. And now look at that. You hardly see it. You hardly see the weapon on my hip. It practically disappears. So I love this little gun. While it's not real powerful, it is very reliable, and it can get you out of a jam. I had, with this little gun, I wear it on my hip, but I also had an ankle holster. So in my ankle holster, you wouldn't even see it in a reasonably tight pair of jeans. You know, it wouldn't even show up. And it's so light that it's only 14 ounces loaded, so it's not even a pound on your ankle or even on your hip. So it becomes very concealable in most situations. So anyway, wanted to let you know that's how California deals with gun recovery. Police do recover guns, and they will contact you. They'll find you, so don't worry about it. They will find you if and when they recover any of your weapons. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. This is the journey home.